All right, everybody, we're here. We're live at Full Contact Fanatics. Don't forget, you can check us out every Monday, starting a little bit early today because we got such a special guest today. We opened up the green room. I got a million emails, a million messages and everything. Hey, man, we want to come down. We want to check out Rocky and everything. So we actually opened it up. So far, we've only had a few people here. Everybody was talking that stuff. But as we all know, living in California, everybody comes fashionably late. But real quick before I introduce who I have on the table with me today, don't forget you can always go to onthemat.com, check out all the latest information, all the latest videos and everything up there. We're currently trying to work it out to get some stuff up from here up on there, as well as myluckygee.com. Make sure you check that out. My man Dando had a lucky gee for a good 2 or 3 minutes.
Boy, did I. And he became an unlucky
He doesn't
gee.
have it now, but of course Miguel has the California, was it the Golden State gee or whatever?
The Warriors.
Which is awesome, so make sure you check that out. But huge special show, man. When I put it out that I was going to have this person on, I got so many first of all, I get so many questions that I have to actually spend the night before trying to figure out what I can put in and what I can't, because if not, you'd be here for about 4 hours. But sitting to my right, the man himself, direct from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Rocky Romero. Rocky, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good, man. It's been a long time.
I know. A pleasure to have you on here. But sitting with me today on my left is Dando. Miguel, as everybody knows, when he wants to come on camera, is very far and few between. Usually he sits in that spot right there. But
that's for sure.
In the producer's chair today is Nicolette, Jessica Nicolette, 1000% knockout herself. Jessica, say hi to the people real quick.
Thank you for the invite, Bobby.
Yeah, well, I always have to have Jessica come and sit in the producer's chair to weed out all the questions and stuff when people start writing in and asking questions and stuff like that. So that's why I have to have her come in here, because Miguel, if you put Miguel in that producer's chair, there'll be so many curse words that all you'll hear is the beeps.
We'll become an X-rated show in no time
For
flat.
sure. We got Voodoo Master himself sitting in with us. Don't forget, Voodoo Master has a big show coming up on March 24th. It's going to be in Westminster at the American Legion Post. Is it 777? Oh, 555?
Nickel.
Yeah, so make sure you check it out. But had to get all that
Voodoo
stuff
Master.
out. Yeah,
shout out.
Don't forget, for you that are listening to us live, we still have the green room opened up. Everybody said, I know Andrew Savoli said he was coming, Sandra, all the people. The Bully Zone people are here. Those guys don't mess around. When they say they're coming somewhere,
punctual.
They are on time. That's one thing I like. They make sure. So we got them in the green room. They'll show you where to sit and kick back for a while, so make sure you come down and check it out. Now, it's been such a long time since we got to talk, and you've grown. I hate to sound like that old man, like we were talking before. When I
sound like
grown so much and like a mushroom, just mushroom.
I hear the name, so I know it.
But especially
you couldn't have said like a beautiful garden.
I said a mushroom
or something. You said a mushroom.
But let me tell you, man. Especially with Oscar, who's new in the business. It's given me a renewed vigor. As far as the business is concerned, because I haven't been to a show. First of all, it takes a lot to get me to go to a show. But now that my daughter's training and everything, when you were at the Santino Brothers show, she said, hey, man, can we please go? I would like to check that out. I'm like, absolutely. So it's been, okay, we'll start from the beginning, okay?
We might as
First of all, we're talking probably 1998, I would say, or easily early 2000.
Yeah, probably
I had a
early
black
2000,
box. That's back in the days when, I don't know, I bet you Oscar and them don't even know what a black box is. But we had a black box, and we used to have all the ECW pay-per-views at my house. So Rocky and Ricky were just fresh in the business. They were the Cupanitos. They were doing really well working for EWF and all that. Now, I don't know. It was so long ago. I don't know what brought you guys over there. I know I talked to you and said, hey, when time you guys want to come check out the pay-per-view. I remember, the thing I remember is when Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki wrestled RVD and Sabu. That was the main event. And we were just like, we were all crammed in Jessica's room, little small room. And just, so do you remember that?
Of course.
Do you remember what brought you guys over there?
I think that we were doing I think we did a show in like Compton or something, like one of those old school
at the
kissing,
the
old school kissing charisma shows. So like, in front of like 50 people.
Yes.
And you're like, dude, I'm gonna have the pay-per-view at my house if you guys want to come by after. I was like, me and Reyes looked at each other. We were like, free pay-per-view, dude. Let's do this. So we're like, we're in. And then those parties, they grew.
We used to fit tons of people in that place. We used to have to take Jessica's bed because she's starting to get older and move the mattress up on the wall, and then we'd fit people in. Dude, like Samoa Joe.
Right.
Well, I don't know how that floor survived because you had these big fat marranos in the front. But that day,
everybody just barely seen over like each other's shoulders.
Yeah, we had I don't even think we had like 36 inch.
It started like a pyramid, person in the front, and then it like came out with like wings towards the end, so everybody could see.
But
the seating was done right, though. Good job on that.
Oh, the mistake that Ricky and Rocky made was they walked in with In-N-Out Burger for themselves. And they walked in, and we were like, dude, where's ours? We're like, oh, man, we're so we sat them way at the back. Now, when you got Fabiano, Samoa Joe, Michael Parks, and Sergio sitting up in the front after eating tortas and all that, dude, you want to talk about a gas explosion? Ricky and Rocky were literally sitting in the back going, come on, man, we can't even watch the pay-per-view, dude, or whatever. Yeah. So, and hey, man, but good times. I remember when we saw Hayabusa do the 450, everybody stood up and was like, dude. Yeah, that was days when it was really,
it was rare to see it was rare to see a 450. Yeah, now you see it like every 2 matches, all these youngins doing their moves.
Back in the day, we saw Hayabusa do that. But we'll reach back a little bit, and then we'll come up today because New Japan has a huge show. We're talking before we went on the air, and me thinking I can get tickets. They sold out in 2 hours, and they sold out even quicker, I think, on this show, which is
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah. Wow, it's amazing.
It's phenomenal.
But 5,000 seats in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I knew who Rocky and Ricky were just for the local scene, and we were really good friends with Patrick Hoyt. And real quick before we get into that training with Jesse, working EWF and stuff like that, how did that dude come into the fold? Did he put him with you?
Ricky, you're talking
no,
about?
Did you put Patrick Hoyt with you guys?
I don't even remember, dude.
Because he was.
I have no idea.
Which was a smart move because he pushed you guys, and that's what made me start learning about you guys because he would come on. He would come on the old show.
I don't think he came out with us for like very long. I think it was just a couple of times.
Yeah,
it
was kind of maybe just a real quick.
I'm not sure if maybe he asked Jesse for that, like hey, let me put me with these guys, or I don't remember.
It was early. It had to be early 2000.
My memory ain't too good because I get.
Well, you took a lot of. Well, you got slammed, power bombed on the ramp on the last Access show I saw. But he would come on the show and go, "Hey, Ricky and Rocky, look at the shape." He said, "I have them eating a lot of arroz con frijoles and plátano frito," and it just, I was like,
"He's a funny guy."
Yeah,
real funny, quick, very quick. Yeah.
So from there, which I got a lot of questions from, because then after that, well, first of all, did you go after that? Did you go to CMLL first? Right after that, or did you go somewhere before you went to CMLL?
we were all basically, we were all working for UPW with us Rick Bassman's thing, and they were
with all those monsters, dude.
All those monsters, we were actually eating those guys alive, you know, because they didn't know what they were doing, and we had a couple more years experience. So like, I remember we had a match, me and Reyes, with Nathan Jones and John Heinerreich.
Oh my God,
2 huge monsters, and. Tom Howard was like our agent or something like that, or he was like critiquing us after something like the matches. And then basically we had this match, and they didn't have any ideas. So we had all our ideas, and they were like, we'll just do whatever. We'll just do it out there. So like,
little did they know.
These little short mother effers just started beating them up.
I remember
and then
those
days.
Like,
dude, Tom Howard was like, you guys are like 6'9", 7 feet tall, and these like 2, under 6 feet. They just ran circles around you, and they just beat you guys up. Like, you probably don't want to do that anywhere else but here. And there's like 5 people in the audience.
Yeah, but I remember Nathan Jones got in big trouble for going way too stiff on Otani. Dude, I was there. When he got a tongue lashing from Bassman from that, but that. UPW, a lot of people don't understand, propelled a lot of people.
A lot of guys.
To like Joe and some dude that wrestles for WWE by the name of John Cena. That guy. Have you heard of him?
Who? So UPW, we were there. Then that's where we met Justin McCulley, just insane at that time. So and then through Samoa Joe actually, and then through that we met him. He invited us to the LA dojo.
Yeah.
At that time, the old LA dojo. We started training there, and they gave us the opportunity to come to Japan for the first time. And then from there, they hooked us up with CMLL to send us to CMLL.
So real quick for the people that are listening and watching to us.
Version.
Yeah,
it was like 5 years of my life.
Yeah,
that was a quick version.
Full Contact Fanatics. There is a huge, because like we were talking earlier, I worked a lot for Kiss and Carisma, and I never got paid much, but when stuff like that would come up, we'd go to TJ and go to Ensenada, and I got to work with guys like Brazo de Plata and people like that. Cool. But dude, for the people listening, there is a huge difference between an American locker room and when you go to Mexico in the locker room. So can you just give them a little bit of a taste of what it's like?
Yeah.
First of all, if you don't, first thing you pack when you're packing your bag to go,
I know
you got to put at least 2 or 3 rolls of toilet paper.
2 or 3 rolls of toilet paper, maybe a toilet seat if you can
Yes.
fit one. That's always nice to have because
Don't
you
want to
never
bring
know.
nothing home.
Dude,
You never
even
know.
if you use the urinals, you got to be careful.
Yeah,
I'm
come home
serious.
with the itch.
Wrap it up always, but
But you know, drinking,
dude, it's
beers and stuff. I mean, it was nothing.
Dude, yeah, wrestling in Mexico in a locker room is it's like the Wild Wild West. It's cool though.
Yeah,
it's,
I mean,
it's
it was some of
quite,
the best times I ever
some
had.
of the best times of my
Scary,
life.
but fun.
Interesting. Like you meet some really eccentric individuals.
Yes.
And
I would
some of
agree.
the but it's you'll always come out with the story.
Yeah.
Which is great, and that's the important thing I think.
Do
Especially
you know
in the early
any
years.
wrestler who's been in the business more than 10 years that doesn't have stories?
Oh, of course.
You know
not.
what I mean?
You
I mean,
start
when you're
picking
on
up
the
stories
road,
the first couple
yeah,
days.
it's amazing. Now, is that where you hooked up with Negro Casas? Because I know he took a liking.
Yeah,
to you
and
guys.
CMLL, because we came in under the New Japan banner, they had sent us there, so he had spent many years in working for New Japan, so he took a liking to us immediately, and was like, hey, well, they kind of sent us to this training like with some of the other guys that worked there. I probably shouldn't say names anymore because like now I have to watch it because I work with New Japan. They work together,
Right.
But we weren't too fond of their training. It was very old school. It didn't feel like we were learning
Yeah, I know
anything.
exactly what you're
So Negro Casas, he was like, come train with me, and then this way you don't get in trouble. At least you're training with somebody, one of the veterans. So we started training with him, and then like he was hip to it. Like he got what we were trying to do. We were new kids. We were trying to bring this, new style, new generation,
Right.
like new moves and this and that. And they weren't trying to teach us like latigo and like pechazo, this and that, like
and do the japonesa
yeah,
where you just roll.
like just like old school wrestling
Yeah.
moves, like we're like, nah, we want to do, we want to do moonsaults, we want to do this and that, that was when moonsaults are still cool, and we're doing like,
Yeah, but
this,
doing moonsaults in the rings out there is a lot different than doing
right,
them out
but
here.
but Arena Mexico rings are good.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the Arena Mexico rings are good. So we were okay. In that aspect.
So no hip replacement like me.
No.
Jesus.
No. Arena Mexico, they took pretty good care of you. Now you go to AAA, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they, Negro was totally cool. Then he got, he just took us under his wing. He showed us the ropes. He introduced us to to a lot of different promoters, and we just worked a lot. We went from having like one match a week, like on a Friday if we were lucky, to like literally like 3 or 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
And working all over Mexico.
Yeah.
And then
And
we
dude,
had
there's
we had those matches. We were just going all over the
There's
place.
no substitute for experience.
No,
That's
no,
what I
no.
try to tell Voodoo. Hey, dude,
Yeah.
there's no, you could be wrestling in front of 5 people, but might be one person, or
Right.
you just get that experience.
Right.
But real quick before we continue, any questions
Yeah,
for
can
me?
we give a shout out to Abigail? She's writing in. She's
What up, Abigail?
excited to see you, Rocky.
Oh, thank you.
Then,
Abigail Von Buren?
No, it looks like her last name's Salmarin.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with who she is. And then a lot of people are writing in because they like your jacket about the whole New Japan dojo. And
Yeah.
I asked you about that in the hallway too. And they want to know what is everybody looking for in a wrestler? And are you like one of the scouts? Are you down there or training people?
I
Are you
mean,
looking for
I because I live in Los Angeles, because I was involved in the original dojo,
Right.
and was there for a lot of these successes and failures. They asked me for input, so I've been helping out with just input overall of what I think could work, what, especially being
Right.
from this area and knowing what could possibly work locally. New Japan is always looking for talent. I think as it expands, and now that we're seeing that it is the hot product right now, and California is definitely the territory that we're at, and where we want to be. Yes, they are looking for talent. They're looking, but I think the dojo is a way to introduce new talent, like they did back in the day, where like somebody could come and learn from somebody like Shibata is the head coach, right? So like you get to learn from like the strong style master of all masters.
Dude, that's like throwing him into the deep end, big
Yeah,
time right there, man.
No, but he's not what you guys think in that fact that like he wants to, he's a basic wrestler, right? He likes basics, so he's gonna just drill you a bunch of times on just the basics, but to make sure that your fundamentals are so good that you can do anything. That's the New Japan way.
Oscar or Voodoo, I'm sorry, are you listening to that?
Yeah, man.
That's what we
you
talk
should get
about.
your little butt in there, man.
That's what we're talking about.
And so some of my friends are down there at the dojo training, and it's by invitation only. That's correct?
Well, yeah. So we opened up where you could sign up for it. And then, then you signed up, and then they sent you back an invitation whether you got in or not.
Cool.
Yeah, but it was like hundreds of people, hundreds of people applied,
You used to have to, we used to send videotapes.
Right.
Or whatever, like when
Dude, I must have spent so much money sending videotapes all across the world, man.
Yeah, but that's how it was. I remember Superboy when he was a Michinoku Pro. Yeah. I said, hey, man, can I send a tape or whatever? He goes, well, you can, but if you do, then you're going to be my boy, and it's going to be like, it was a whole different thing back then. But we're gonna move into that, talk about the dojo, talk about the upcoming show.
Okay.
But we're real quick for the people listening to us. You're here. You're at Full Contact Fanatics. We got Rocky Romero in studio. It just inundated with questions. I got Donda with me over here.
What's up, Donda? Yo. We haven't talked at all.
I know, man. Well, when we get into
hang in there with you.
Strong style and all that stuff, that's when Donda, because he is the borderline expert when it comes to strong style and jiu-jitsu techniques and all that. So we can see. You see, we have a little mini dojo over there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's where
I do my work.
He has some private that he trains over there and stuff, and sometimes we have some techniques and stuff that we take him over there and show him. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I got Jessica Nicolette over in the producer's chair. She's going to be fielding your questions if you guys want to, write some questions in or whatever. And of course, Voodoo Master's with us today, and of course, Robert. With all this, they wouldn't be possible. And of course, Miguel eating burritos de carnitas over there, like he usually does. So,
yep.
Look at that cage you guys got there, man. How much does that cost?
That's how we. Robert works his magic, man. That's how we do it.
You got to see the team that puts it up.
Yeah,
he's professional.
Team of Oompa Loompas.
I'm telling you, man. That's
put
how
up that whole cage just for me too.
That's
man.
what we were saying. It took hours to build it.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
Real quick, we're gonna move forward a little bit. So back then, that's when Rocky was really starting to come to the forefront.
Yeah.
And really starting.
I'm learning
to move up there. So I hadn't seen Rocky in a long time. So we go to Samoa Joe's wedding, because Samoa Joe and I had been friends forever, working and stuff like that. And the thing is, because I'd go over there a lot and go check out when they did TRA Productions. They did the Samoan dancing and stuff like that.
Right.
So the father would always call me, hey, come to this show and all that. And I went over there for a Super Bowl party one time. Dude, I can eat a lot, but I am nothing compared to that Joe's family.
Samoan barbecue,
yeah,
man.
Dude, it was amazing.
Man.
So when we got to the wedding, he sat me with the family.
Yeah.
But I wanted to sit with the rest.
The boys.
Yeah, because it was you, it was Adam Pearce, it was CM Punk, it was everybody. Right. So I didn't get a chance to get over there till after everything was over, and then they opened up the dance floor. So by the time I got over there, everybody was hammered.
Oh man, I don't remember too much. I remember just being hammered.
This dude, it was so funny, man, because he was like, "Favi, get over, let me see some dance moves," and we were doing like the suavemente and all that stuff. Dude, that was like the best time I ever had. And low key, who was like the most mellow dude on earth, was partying. He was having a good time. I was like, dude, you saw so many people out of their element or whatever. So,
Homicide was there.
Yeah, Homicide and what's his name? Fergal Devitt was there.
Yeah, I took him as my date because my girlfriend couldn't make it, and he was in town. I was like, hey, you want to be my +1 man? He was like, sure.
Even him, when I saw him, I had seen him. He was just starting to work in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him. I know he's in his mind. He's going, who the hell was this guy? But I was telling him, hey, I saw that you're working out there. I said, that is going to benefit you, man. I said, because that's a totally different style. It's really going to up your game. And he's the nicest guy. He's like, yeah, man, But I could tell he was going, what is this guy? Or whatever. But, I mean, that was really one of, like, the best times I ever had. We had so
that was
much
a good
fun.
Time.
Yeah, we stayed at the hotel so we could, just stay there or whatever. It was awesome. So
I think I stayed in Punk's room or something.
Yeah. I think everybody just, whatever room was open, everybody just went to, or whatever. Madness. So then after that, that's when was that the time that you were in Ring of Honor or?
Yeah, we were all in ROH at the time. So what was that, like probably 2004, 5 or something? Yeah, so Joe, I think Joe was still there. He was right about, or maybe he had just left TNA.
For the wedding, he had just come for Ring of Honor and went into TNA.
Okay, yeah.
But
right.
tell the people that are listening to this about the many nights of going around the back to where Joe lived. Because if you go around the back, he had a private entrance back there to where his room was. And so he would call me, dude, hammered, and he called me Dan. Dan, I don't know, these guys, they need a ride home, man. Can you get them a ride home? Oh, never mind, Punk is here. He'll take them. Fucking hang up. I would get those calls constantly and whatever. So can
Poor
you tell us a
Jessica.
little bit about, would everybody go over there after
Yeah,
their-
that was just always like, I don't know, Joe's was always just a place to go.
Yeah.
Like anybody who was in town in California or Los Angeles,
Dude,
that was just like
there
the
was
place
Del
to
Taco
go.
rappers everywhere and all that. I mean, it was
Like I don't, yeah, but I mean, not only just like to party, but like they were just
Yeah.
they're just such a great family.
Yeah,
The
that
house was
family, open
always
arms.
open to just everybody. So people just come and stay a couple days, stay
Yeah.
a couple weeks, or whatever, and then but I grew up here in LA, so I would just drive down there and he'd be like, hey, you want to watch pay-per-view? You
Yeah.
want to we want to play video games? So we play the Pride video game
Yeah.
for like 12 hours straight. And just like eat Del
Yeah.
Taco and like
Good times.
a bunch of like nerdy wrestling.
The
kids,
best
really,
days.
you know?
he would be hammered and he'd
Yeah.
call me, hey man, can you take these guys home? I get there, nobody was there. They'd take them all home. He was drunk, but one time I tried to take the Ring of Honor belt with me one time. Where are you going?
That death grip,
Yeah,
man.
man. He didn't mess around. So, Ring of Honor. Now, did Ring of Honor prepare you to come back to New Japan, or was that already in the works?
So, wow, okay, it's very very complicated.
Yeah, we're
here.
moving around.
So yeah, I was in Ring of Honor. Yeah, so New Japan, and then I went to Ring of Honor for a bit, and then I went back to New Japan when I started doing Black Tiger.
Right.
Right. And then so I might have been doing Black Tiger at this time that we're talking about, and then after that, I went back to Ring of Honor as Rocky Romero.
So was
Yeah.
Kozlov with you on the first round of Ring
No.
of Honor or the second time?
Second round,
You,
third round,
real quick,
third round.
quick story.
I've been in and out of Ring of Honor for a while.
Oh yeah, you've been around, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's why you're so good
Right.
because of the experience moving
Yeah.
from different
Right,
places. But
right.
I did a show in Torrance, and I had Alex Kozlov, with me, and I had like T.J. Perkins. You know who I had? I had Sarah Del Rey on that show.
Nice.
That girl was money.
Yeah, yeah,
I
she's
mean,
great.
every time I had a
Great.
show, sold out. People wanted to see her.
She's
so,
the backbone of that whole women's division.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
I think she's
not to
very
take away
underrated.
from the
Yeah.
performers, but she, I think, is really the one that's teaching them,
I
and
agree
taking them to the next
100%.
heights,
I
the
agree.
heights
She-
that they've gone to in the last couple of years.
Very underrated. I mean, I know she went to Shimmer and all that, but when I had her, always made money. But I'm gonna get to that in a second. But let me. This is what I said. It was when you work those American Legion halls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you put a regular ring up, there's maybe this much room before the tiles.
Right.
So I told everybody, dude, do not come off that third row. Please do not come off the. Alex Kozlov wrestling T.J. Perkins. What do you think he does? Goes to the third, boom, right through the tile. Bust it all
He's
up.
probably like, bro, I had to get the
I'm
splash,
like,
and
dude,
I
what
really
are you
was
doing?
working
And
on
he goes, oh, well, the people, and I can't. So I had to go before the board the next day, pay for it, and
How much he cost you?
it wasn't that much. I think it was a couple of $100 or something just to replace the tiles and all that stuff. But just going because
Alex, if you're listening, he'll probably be a couple $100.
you're in
man.
big trouble. And he pulled a Sergio and bailed right after that. I'm like, where did Alex go or whatever? And then he took
It's a good
off.
businessman.
Yeah. So then because you started to really do some not only having Ricky as a partner, but then with Alex, that I saw a lot of you and Alex in CMLL.
That was,
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
that was a bit later, but
And he went to Japan with you for a couple of shows too, right?
yeah. So there was a point where I got let go from New Japan, and then I went to Noah. I started working again for Ring of Honor pre Alex, and then
Pre-Alex.
at this point, and then Alex got me a job back in CMLL again after that, and they gave me this really crappy gimmick that I just didn't really connect with the people, and it was kind of like probably the real low point of my career at this time, and so basically I was out there, I was starving, and Alex was doing really well. He was like a big star, so
Right.
he basically was like, well, you helped me out in the beginning of my career, so here I am helping you out now.
Yeah.
So like, thank God for friends, right? So we were down there. An opportunity came to join AAA. I obviously I couldn't say no.
Yeah.
I had really no option. So the jump for me made sense. The jump for him, I think he was just bored. So and tired of the same old, you know. So then he made the jump, and then for Jindrak, I think it was a monetary thing. So we all jumped 1, 2, 3, like within weeks. We all jumped to AAA, and that kind of made a big splash because nobody had done that in years. You know,
Jindrak is in CMLL to this day, right?
Back in CMLL
big
now.
movie star, and
yeah,
doing
he's
novellas
doing really well.
and stuff
yeah,
like
he's doing
that
really
out there.
well. Contrary to whatever Vampiro says, because I was just listening to Steve Austin's podcast on the way here.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, he's tired. He's tired."
Yeah, I don't know
He's
what
tired
the
of
hell
it.
Vampiro's talking about. I think Vampiro's like.
Just looking for something to say or something.
I think he's jealous, you know, because there's another young kid with a similar story to him, you know, comes in. I mean, obviously it was different because Vampiro, you know, was there in the 90s when the business was different. The 90s, it was, you know, such a booming era, and wrestling was looked at way differently in the 90s, you know. We did this pre-MMA, right? So,
Sure.
But, you know, I think that there was a bit of jealousy, and so I listened to that. And I can't wait to listen to it on the way back home.
I listened to
because
the whole thing. Yeah.
there's some wild things, brother,
dude,
saying,
I'm like,
man.
dude, why
Some
he's
wild
got,
things.
He's got a good thing going, you know. He's got Lucha Underground and all that. I don't know why.
No,
real quick, to Jessica Nicolette, any more questions
There's a
coming?
couple of fans writing in for you, Favi. Steven Romero said, "Big Favi." He's talking about your muscles. He says you look huge on the air tonight.
Tell him that's all I got left.
Okay, Bully Zone wrote in, how about Joe versus Favi? But that's happened before, correct?
Samoa Joe?
Have you wrestled
yes.
Samoa Joe?
It was me and Superbad against Samoa Joe and John Cena when they did the
Superbad?
Yeah, when they did the dojo shows.
How do you say John Cena super bad?
By the airport when UPW was right
the
there.
El Segundo gym,
at the Raw Training Center. And Samoa Joe hit me with a savate kick and dude knocked me smooth out. When I woke up, I can remember him saying, "Oh my God, I killed my friend! I killed my friend!" So
why does he do that to his friends?
Oh, dude, but
knocked
you know,
me out one time.
Yeah,
too.
but I don't know if it's just the Samoan aspect or whatever. But dude, he could pick me up like I was a little kid. You know what I mean? It was amazing. Anything else before I go back to Rocky?
Somebody says, "Rocky, how's your Spanish?"
It's good on some days, but it's not.
It's
very
probably
good,
good
on
when
most.
you're living out there in Mexico for
when
a
I'm
while.
drunk.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It just flows or whatever. But
for the most part.
yeah. So real quick before we continue on, because I want to get to Roppongi Vice and all that.
Yeah.
But let me just real quick plug the show. Don't forget for the people listening to us, you know, when it's sold out or whatever. But I believe they're going to show it on Access TV.
Yeah, it's live on
they're gonna
Access
show it
TV,
live.
man.
So if you want to check it out, it's New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Style Evolved. It's Sunday, March 25th at the Pyramid of Long Beach. You can make a whole day. I think it starts at 3. Is that right? Like in the afternoon?
I think.
Or do they open the doors at 3?
I think the doors open at 3.
Yeah.
I think bell time is 5 p.m. Pacific. So
Okay.
so what we're like 8 p.m.
Yeah,
on the
Eastern time.
time,
Yeah.
and it's live on Access. It's running live.
Which-
it's like at least a 4-hour show.
Yeah,
so
which
I
is
think
which is perfect because you can make a whole day if you want
I
to in
only
that
can
area.
imagine, yeah. The
There's
Pyramid's
Lazy
fun,
Acres
man.
right there where they serve all the fresh food, and there's a Fitness 19 right in that whole area. And also, what's the one where they serve the real good rice with the Rascals? There's a Rascals right on that corner by the Pyramid, which is slamming. So
And Great Mex.
that's what I'm talking about. You might want to check it
Gotta
out.
tell
So
the boys.
yeah, the main event is going to be Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi against the Young Bucks and Jay
First
White.
time ever.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be
First time
I'm
ever.
gonna get to that because
Wow, okay.
I pay a lot of money in cable because I have to see the Luchas. I got to watch New Japan and all that. And I saw R3000 against the Young Bucks, and I was saying somebody is going to die. This is going to be the match where
And then it'd
somebody
be me,
dies.
though, right?
And yeah, you know, he gets power bombed on the ramp
I
and
wasn't
all
even
that. It
in
was-
the match.
Yeah,
I'm just a manager.
and not power. They ran with them and boom, bacatelas. And also, this is huge, man. Jushin Liger against Rey Mysterio. That's gonna be huge. People are gonna
U.S. title match, Jay White and Hangman
Oh, dude,
Page. That's cool.
That's amazing. So don't forget if you want to check it out. Also, it's gonna be live on Access TV. Talking about that. You know, like I was saying, I pay a lot in cable because not only do I have to watch the MMA, Access TV shows all the LFA fights and stuff like that. So
Access is great,
Dude,
man.
it
Access
came-
is great.
when it
For
first started,
sports
we had the
especially,
CEO on the show, and he was talking about it. Little did I know it was going to grow to where it is today.
Right.
And Josh Barnett puts you over constantly.
Oh, he's the man.
That dude,
Yeah,
all
he's
he
a
talks
good
about
dude.
is Rocky Romero. He's like, let me tell you something. That dude's paid his dues. That dude's worked MMA. He, you know, really put work into it to get where he's. Did you ever listen to it when you watch it on Access?
You know what? No, just
Yeah.
because I just started getting Access like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like I came home from a tour, and I was scrolling through on a Friday night, like literally 2 weeks ago, and I was like, New Japan is on.
Yeah.
It's on my TV now. Okay, cool. So I just started recording it. So I haven't had a chance to sit
Yeah.
down
So
and watch
did you
it. Just
did
'cause
you
I'm so
train with
busy.
them when? Because he's out here
Yeah,
at
dude,
CSW.
He, like Josh is so cool in the fact that out of the blue, he'll be like, I'm having this seminar. It's a catch wrestling seminar. I would love for you to come.
Yeah.
Are you in town? I'm like, and yeah, I'm in town. You know, it's been a couple of years, but I'm cool. I just go down there, and he's like, roll with this guy, roll with that guy. And then he doesn't need to make any introduction. Nobody cares who I am in the catch wrestling.
Very humble.
Jiu-jitsu world. And then here he's like, dude, this is Rocky Romero. You know, New Japan Pro Wrestling, this, that. And I'm like, all these guys are like, yeah, okay, can't wait to kick your ass.
Yeah,
you know?
get him on the match.
Make him even more hungry.
Well, anybody who can submit Dean Lister in a pair of back Speedos with some black Asics wrestling shoes is, dude, when we
Josh is the man.
Well, we watch it here.
So
we watch all the stuff. You know, when we saw that, and I thought, what is he doing? Is this a work or whatever? But then they got going, and that catch wrestling, there's something too, because he caught him in, that. What do you call it? Was a head and arm, but he had him like reverse, and just as soon as he came up, you see
he locked onto it.
We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
You see Dean's face; he's thinking, "God dang it! Can I get out? Can I get?"
Nope.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
And Dean is like one of the trickiest guys ever.
Exactly,
you know?
And for him to just get him in that and boom and because he went against Saulo Ribeiro and those guys.
He's wrestled the best.
They couldn't tap him out.
No,
you know what I mean. It's amazing.
He got caught.
Yeah.
I don't know that would happen every time, but that happened in that match. You know what I mean?
But I love Josh's attitude. He's like, I told you.
Yeah.
He's just like, I told you guys.
Milk it.
When
Milk
you
it.
look at him, he doesn't look like the typical like BJJ type of guy or whatever.
Right.
Well, let's put it this way. When I started training with Delo and competed a few times in Grappler's Quest and all that, when I was with Tap Out, they had a big grappling tournament at the LA Convention Center for when they had the Fitness Expo and all that.
Yeah, the Fit Expo.
So I won my first match on points, and then if I would have won the second match, I would have had to go against Josh Barnett. And I was scared. You can't go into a match going, well, maybe, if I do lose, it won't be that bad. You know what I mean?
Just do it.
But I was like, because you just see him there, and he's about this big or whatever, and I'm going, God
He's
damn,
a big cat, dude.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
strong.
Unfortunately or fortunately, I lost on points, and it was kind of like, so he ended up going against Jeff Munson in the final.
Wow.
That's a pretty big round,
Cool.
Cool.
So, hey, and if Jeff Munson too, I might have been a little bit scared there. So
it's pretty cool that you went up that far, though.
Yeah. So real quick for the people listening to this, you're here. You have Full Contact Fanatics. We got Rocky Romero in studio. Talk a little bit about coming up, through Mexico and dealing with. Make sure you got toilet paper in your bag.
The real stuff.
Like that. But see, people,
the struggle is real.
Dude, people just see the finished product. You know what I mean? They don't see what it takes to get there. And all that experience is, it just benefits you. So, I got Dando sitting over here to my left. Got Jessica Nicolette over the producer's chair, fielding some questions. So if you want, I don't know what everybody was telling me how can Rocky bring merch and I want this and that and the studios opened up. Where's Sandra?
We'll
Where's
Dream
Anderson?
Masters
all those guys were the ones that wanted to come. And let me tell you something. This guy comes prepared. When we were at Santino Brothers and all the people came up and the kids are like, Dad, please, I want this shirt. I want this Rocky shirt. And he's like, I don't have any cash. And Rocky's like, I got the thing, dude. I'll slide you right now. Or whatever. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This one had bad hips, Rocky. 2 bad hips, and as soon as your merch came out, he started running. I couldn't even find him at your table.
That's
I'm like,
because he was
where
in
are you?
my car, right?
Yeah. And he's like, no, his merch is gonna go quick, so I gotta get some stuff.
And also, there's usually only 1 or 2 2X shirts, so I want to make sure I got the 2X before, because.
I got a 2X for you in the car too.
Yeah, because usually
I brought you a special. I'll tell you about it.
Perfect.
When we get to it, I guess.
And I'll sport it right here on this show, or when we go do a live broadcast or
nice.
whatever. So, anyways,
I'll wait till you let me do my plugs. And
absolutely. You want to plug a few right now? Go right ahead.
No. So I'm working on. So I recently spent all my savings to put together this documentary on my favorite wrestler, Chico El Luchador.
That's pretty cool.
We see a lot of that on there. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, dude. Obviously, the legend of Chico Luchador and what he has done.
If you don't, you're not a fan.
Right, and what he's done for not only professional wrestling, but, just the entertainment industry, the world, politically as well, And so, here was a chance for me to meet and interact with my hero. So I spent every dime I saved, so I could put together this documentary and bring his life story to the world. And so I'm also I signed a deal with him to do his merch on RockyRomeroMerch.com, where you can get my merch, his merch as well. And so I brought you a Chico shirt so you could sport,
Absolutely.
And I got
that's
the 2X.
I've seen it trending on Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's doing really well.
Is your Facebook full?
Of course.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
do you have a like page now?
Yeah, I got
'Cause that's what happens
I
when
got
they
that one. I got the like page. You're still able to follow me, I think, on the other page.
I am able to because I was when you first went on.
Right, you're old.
Yeah,
We're old.
big time.
School,
Yeah.
brother.
And that's why I have kids because they're like,
Right.
hey, can you help me get on
Yeah,
there?
right.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you,
you're on
But you can
Instagram,
They
right?
yeah,
follow
you
you
can.
on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Azuka AZUCARROC. I'm on Instagram as well as that. Rocky Romero on Twitter. You can go to RockyRomeroMerch.com for all my stuff, and then the ChicoElLuchador.com is kind of the main landing page for El Senor Chico. And you can watch the documentary. We just put the first part out there, and he does like weekly advice. We do drops for him every I think it's like a Tuesday or something.
So you're shooting in segments and then put it on your website so people can see as it goes.
As it goes, because we're following him as the progression for the last couple months. That's where we started it.
Got
and
it.
Now it's like the progression of what's kind of been going on with
That's
him.
very cool.
Yeah. So
sweet. So make sure
yeah.
you check him out. He keeps everybody
every
up to date
dime
on
I
that, too.
have, I put in this. Okay,
That's huge.
So make sure you go.
Make sure you check it
Make
out.
sure you guys follow him on Instagram because I always see his deals. He's always having like 25% off.
Yeah, we
buy
do
one
some
get-
deals. Yeah, and no.
Now,
it's
Robert,
fun.
can you put that in the background? Do you still have that shirt going on, or
Yeah, I do. I have a couple of those.
is that one
as
of your
well.
best sellers? Or
That was a great. Yeah, that one. We have hoodies of that one. We have T-shirts. That one does pretty well.
It's pretty cool.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
this is
is-
Chico. Yeah,
that is
a lot of
awesome.
great guys. Talk about Chico in the documentary. The Young Bucks, Cody, the Rainmaker Okada. You can see Colt Cabana,
Oh, dude.
John Morrison. I mean, it's a star-studded documentary. Cody, Joey Ryan. They all talk about one of the best in the business, Chico Luchador.
Awesome, man. Make sure you check that out.
How many hours you got in on that so far? Just to get that together, 6 months or so.
Months.
Yeah.
Yeah, months.
That's
just
what I
to get-
figured.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and we're not even fully there yet.
I like how you're putting it together. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
so,
got
so they go on your
pins.
website to check out that merch?
Yeah, this is all the merch. This is the merch website here. Yeah, we've got Christmas shirts. We've got ornaments, dolls.
dude,
we've got
that is awesome.
baseball cards. Those are official New Japan baseball cards. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on there, man.
So do you have a
It's
warehouse
cool.
in your garage or what? That's a lot of stuff.
We run
man.
it straight out of right out of the house, man. My lovely fiance, she runs it for me,
Yeah.
and yeah, she does a really great job.
That is awesome, dude. I like that strong stuff. So moving on, started Roppongi Vice
Right.
with Trent Beretta.
Correct.
I got to see Trent Beretta one time, and I think it might have been PWG or something if I remember correctly. And I'm gonna say underrated.
Very underrated.
Underrated. Now, when Voodoo came over and we were watching the big New Year's show, and he wrestled Kenny Omega. That was another match where I said somebody's gonna die
Right.
in that match because explain to the
Of course
people
it's gonna be
the
Trent, yeah.
tables out there aren't like they are out here.
Yeah, and
Those
they're
tables
strong.
are solid wood.
They strong, yeah.
Yeah, so-
solid wood. Like usually you'll just be able to maybe puncture part of it,
Right.
like half of it.
Unreal.
It's thick, yeah. And but somehow Trent made it all the way kind of through. kind of.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're watching it, and I don't know, the table had got flipped over.
Yeah.
So they got these really big, thick metal rails. So when he fell on it, the rail hit him right in the small of the back.
Right,
You
right.
can see the pain
Oh,
just
God.
going through his, I said,
Right.
oh my, I told Voodoo, I said, he's done, dude. I think that's it. And he kept going. And they
Right,
kept, I mean, it was.
No, they had a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Just a hell of a match.
So when you've been with Punky Vice for so long, do you guys go, hey, look, man, I think I want to become heavyweight, and move on, or whatever? How does that work?
Well, we kind of, I should say, kind of always had a plan for the team that when we first got together, I didn't think that it was going to be as big as it was, right? And then it kind of just exploded, and then just kept going and kept going and kept going. It was just like, so I mean, to walk away from it still at its height, was kind of crazy. But it felt like that was probably the better thing to do to give Trent all the momentum that he needed to get into the heavyweight division, because
Yeah.
I mean he's huge. He doesn't really belong in the junior division, and like you said, he's been underrated all these years. WWE didn't use him right, so he's been trying to getting his name up, in through PWG and this and that.
Right.
And then Roppongi Vice happened, and that helped. And then Best Friends, the stuff that he's done with Chuck Taylor, but it felt like it'd be cool if we didn't beat the Young Bucks in Long Beach, so it was just like, let's just do it. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
The time is right.
Makes sense.
Let's do it now. Let's walk away from now. And it was sad. and it was emotional. You know, that moment that we had in Long Beach, dude, it was real, man.
Yeah.
Like we're both really like on the verge of tears
people
because
don't
it was
understand.
like,
Like,
dude,
I tell,
this is
like
real
I
life.
tell Voodoo,
You know?
they call it being married to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, when that's your partner for a while, or you've broken a program with
Right.
somebody for so long,
Right.
being married to them. Real quick before, any more questions? Real quick before
I
I
just
get
want
in?
to say, whoever does not mark out for your guys' theme, the Rapungi 3000, is a liar.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that song is so
Thank you.
amazing.
You did an
Thank you,
Instagram
thank you.
thing to that, didn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna mention it because I was embarrassed, but no, okay. When I was first training, right,
Okay.
nothing like really came easy to me, and mariachi taught me how to roll.
Okay.
So I was like, record me. So you recorded me, and then I posted it like a flipagram,
Yeah.
and I put your song behind it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And they
so-
got
thank you.
massive
I know you're
hits.
probably like, you're
Thank
so
you.
lame.
Yeah, it was.
No,
It was
that's
amazing.
Cool, that's cool. That makes me happy because you know, I worked really hard on both the Rapungi Vice theme and the Rapungi 3K theme, and you know, I mean, it's me putting myself out there,
Who wrote
hoping
the
that
lyrics
people are
for
gonna
it?
like. I wrote everything.
Oh,
I
you
did
wrote-
everything.
Look at
I
him.
did everything.
Is there
yeah.
nothing this man
I
cannot
did
do?
everything.
Did you
It's
do
amazing.
the McGriddle line?
That was Trent's work.
Okay.
That's just Trent, you know, just giving Trent a mic and then just saying, "Hey, Trent, do your thing," and then he says some off the wall stuff, you know.
Right.
Like, yeah, he's
Yeah,
just,
the whole
he's
song was
nuts.
good from beginning to end.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
Pretty
appreciate
cool.
it was cool. I liked it. Now,
Yeah.
maybe we could play it on the way out. Now, before we continue,
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled. Well, I'm still wrestling. Well, I wrestled for like 21, 22 years straight. Then I
Right.
kind of retired. I don't know if you know this or not, but when you have hip surgery, it's kind of hard to wrestle. After
Yeah,
that.
I
So,
imagine.
but then when she started training, and then of course when Voodoo came into the thing, like I said, it kind of gave me a renewed vigor. Now, I never worried about getting paid and stuff like that because especially on the independents. But when I would work for Kiss and Charisma and people like that, they would give me some good matches.
Right.
So that meant a lot to me. Now, the one thing in my career, because I'm 52 years old now.
Really?
One thing I
You're
Getting
like
there.
a day
Getting
over
there.
is,
36. man.
is there a tip jar over here?
Getting
somewhere or
there.
Whatever. We're at Starbucks.
Almost
Tip jar.
53.
Are you thirsty? Do you want some water? Some water in that. Can you get Rocky a water
that'd
real
be
quick,
great.
please?
Thank you.
Check one over here too, Oscar.
Yeah, I think there's. You want
I'm parched. I'm parched.
Give.
No, I'm a water guy.
Give Dondo a. Well,
You haven't said a
word.
word.
Oh,
man.
it's
You need to
okay.
get some water in
Give
here.
Dondo.
Get him a
Give
beer
Dondo
or something, man.
Gatorade. Give Rocky a water, please.
Just huck it over, buddy.
The one thing, and I talk
You got one under
I
your
talk
table?
To Biggie Biggs about this all the time.
Yeah.
The one thing
Under
I
the
wanted,
Hawaiian.
just the one thing I wanted so bad was a Ribera Steakhouse jacket. man.
Oh, yeah,
That's, So for the people that are listening to us, tell us a little bit about that. Give that to Rocky. Give him a Gatorade. Can you want to?
I'll take whatever you got.
Yeah, give him a Gatorade. You
you
sure?
sure?
You want
Yeah,
Gatorade?
no, I'm good. Whatever. I'm
I
all
got
good.
Gatorade, and this is what I got.
Gatorade.
Hook up Rocky, man. He's a
Yeah, don't let him sit over here parched.
I appreciate
And
it.
the
Star got
energy drink, I
Starbucks?
think.
Oh, what's that?
And I think there's cream sodas or whatever. That's all I
Rocky the
got.
function.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Rocky.
Oh, that's
Hydrate.
Yeah, you gotta stay hydrated.
So for the people listening to us, tell us a little, because if you're a true wrestler and you go to Japan, it's funny because like you were talking about being on the
This is icy
on the
too.
yeah, so that's how we roll here. It's because the air conditioner's on. Luckily for you, Robert put the air conditioning on, because if it was
Thank you,
anybody else,
Robert.
we'd be sitting there in the heat. Let me tell you.
Thank you, Robert.
Because the Young Bucks were talking about that. They
Right.
said when they first went out there, they were like, "Oh man, we went to Ribera's," and they were like, "Oh, we don't even have any," because they didn't really know who they were. They just got
Yeah,
out there
right.
or whatever. But now, every
Yeah,
time
that's
they come,
that's the spiel that they give because they became over the year.
Yeah.
It used to be really hard to get to Japan,
Yeah.
right? It used to be like way hard. So there was only X amount of foreign wrestlers that would go over
Right.
and wrestle. Then it started becoming a bit easier, and more companies started popping up, right? Because back in the day it was only like 2 or 3 companies.
Sure.
Then, now there's
Yeah.
hundreds, right? So more foreigners started coming over to Japan. So there used to be a rite of passage to get this, Ribera's jacket.
Yeah.
Still is, but because more people started coming, they're like, "Hey, man, we're losing money on these Ribera jackets. We can't just be giving them to everybody." So they would give like the spiel, like, "Oh, wait, we don't actually have them," and then they would bust them out for the people that they knew.
Right.
But that's like the thing, I have one. I still have the same one that I got from my first tour.
What color is it?
It's purple.
Oh,
the grimace.
dude.
I got the
you know
purple
what?
grimace.
The more bright the color, the more people notice it. You know what I mean?
It's.
But-
I still got it. Of all the stuff that I've given away, thrown away over the years. That's like the one that I still
Yeah.
keep. That like probably the only thing that I really
dude,
keep.
but you
Yeah,
earned it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would like to
I
get
would
like
give
a new one.
anything
be honest.
to have one, but
I don't think it even fits. I think it's like way too small for me.
it's funny because I was listening to the Colt Cabana show,
Yeah.
and he had Road Warrior Animal on there, and he said, Colt was saying, I got my Ribeiro jacket. I was happy with it, but then I turned around, and not only do you guys have Ribeiro jackets, you have a whole wall or whatever for the Road Warriors. It
Oh
has
my gosh.
Zubaz and Romero jackets and
Yeah.
everything out there.
I think I might have got a pair of pants too. I think that you go the first time, and they know you. They give you the jacket. Then
Yeah.
you get like Zubaz pants, and then maybe like a hat or
Yeah.
a hoodie or something, or So I got the pants, I got the jacket, but I mean that was years ago.
Yeah.
But I've been there ever since, and they don't give me anything. They just go, hey. I'm like, hey, what about a jacket? They just go, huh? Yeah. I'm like, all right, I guess that's enough. You got
So
yours
hey,
already, kid.
real quick, hey, Ribeiro Steakhouse, hook him up, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
You're talking to
Don't be
Rapungi
stingy.
Vice over here, buddy. And now our 3000, Arcade
Yeah.
3000. So you might want to check them out.
So, Fabi, I have a question
Go for it.
Rocky. We're currently live on Facebook and on YouTube. And so
Nice.
somebody on YouTube wrote in, what's your favorite memory from the Santa Monica dojo?
Oh, wow.
Because people were sleeping
Yeah.
on the floor. Brian
I mean,
Danielson, Nakamura, and them.
Yeah, Nakamura wasn't sleeping on the floor, but I mean, definitely not. But yeah, Danielson slept on the floor for a little bit, and then he got moved into. They had like a really nice apartment also by Santa Monica by 3rd
Yeah,
Street.
and that was all through Simon Inoki or
That was
Antonio himself?
well, it was New Japan that was funding it.
Yeah.
And then basically, I mean, the real story is that they said New Japan was opening a dojo, but at this time, New Japan nobody really knew who that what that was.
Right.
At that time, it didn't really hold the weight that it does now. But Inoki was living. Antonio Inoki was living in Santa Monica, and he basically wanted a gym.
Right.
So he told New Japan to open up a
52, but I still got that bad
yeah,
boy.
that
You
was
saw
good,
that?
man. That was
Yeah.
good. But he basically is like, I want a gym.
Yeah.
You should open a gym near my house. So here came the dojo, and then it turned into like, okay, well, we should look for talent,
Yeah.
this and that. But probably my favorite memory, it was just like it was just such a crazy place in the fact like you would show up one day, Waliji Ishmael would be there, like just say, and he'd be like, we're trying to roll with Inoki, and then like he'd tap to Inoki, like he'd be like the only guy that would tap that he would tap to, because he wouldn't even tap for Hoist, right? So like
Wow.
but like, and then Inoki would go in there and like show stuff, and then like Boss Rutan would show up, all of a sudden, and then like he'd like, oh, you guys are working out, and then he'd be like, let me show you guys something, and he'd like something cool would happen, or like Diamond Dallas Page would show up,
Yeah.
or like Josh Barnett would come in and be like, oh, let me show you this takedown I've been working on, and then it's like. It was just such a crazy place, and like anything could happen. You don't know who would show up, like when and where, and it was kind of magical.
Yeah.
And it's something that I don't know if will ever be recreated ever,
Yeah.
ever. And just the amount of talent that came out of there, and it's kind of legendary in
And
a way.
all that, sleeping, that's all paying dues, man.
Yeah, man.
Anybody who hasn't paid dues, they're not. I mean,
Right.
everybody's. Hulk
Driving
Hogan's paid
2
dues.
hours,
Yeah.
in traffic there,
Yeah.
for no money, just a hope for an opportunity,
Yeah.
for a year almost, and then just
What it was especially when I was wrestling, like for Kiss and Carisma and Antonio over at All Nations or whatever, because I always had a full-time job, and it was always on Sunday because the hall for quinceañeras they could rent it out. So on Sunday you'd be working. I got to go to work on Monday, so I'd go, hey man, I got to go to work tomorrow. Can I get my money so I can get out of here? And when they say, let me talk to you for a minute, then then you're getting that speech. You know what I mean? And the place would be packed. It'd be full.
Right.
And then Kiss would go, hey, man, we didn't get that many people, so I can only give you I go, dude, the place was packed. Yeah, but I had to pay Liz Mark, so I go, dude, let me get my 10 so I can get some
Liz Mark
cheeseburgers
was
at
working for
McDonald's.
like 5 other promoters, and they were all splitting it. It probably
Exactly.
just cost them like nothing, but
Exactly.
it didn't matter.
Have you ever wrestled Mean Mascaras?
No, but I would love to.
I wrestled.
Said no one. No, I'm just
we
kidding.
were,
Said
we,
not
were
me.
we were doing a show at Obregon Park,
Yeah.
and he was in town,
Yeah.
and he wanted 600. And the promoter, his name was David. He goes, look,
They
man,
got him on a good day,
he
obviously.
goes, you know what, dude? All I can-
600K, right? We're talking about.
all I can pay is 300. And he's, oh no, I want for you. So he hung up, and he turned around. And he goes, I guarantee he's gonna call back in a half hour.
He did.
Call back, and he goes, you know what? I'm in town, and my plane doesn't leave for like another 8 hours, so I'll go ahead and come and do it. So he did it. So it was him and I.
Old school.
And you know what? It was myself and Hardcore Kid against
wow.
him and Sergio. And I gave
That's
him
some amazing matches, dude, back in the
dude,
day.
yeah,
I can't believe this.
I
That's
gave
wild,
him
right?
everything, dude.
No idea.
I mean, went outside. Well, Kiss and Carisma didn't like him, so you know what they did? They knew his finish was the flying crossbody.
Yeah.
Dude, they left that top rope loosed. I mean, it was so when he went up to
He
do
had
it,
to be up there,
I
too,
was
in
waiting for him,
age already, right?
and when he jumped He went. I literally had to run to try to catch him and barely caught him because he went straight down. But I gave him everything. I had absolutely no offense whatsoever. Gave him everything.
He's still wrestling.
Oh yeah, and it's
crazy.
got to be close to 80.
Has to be.
Yeah, but we
Has
get
to
to the back and he goes, "We could have did a little bit more outside." But I said, "Dude, whatever." So
I just saved your life.
yeah, you almost got killed. But anyway, so well, real quick, somebody wrote about that. Who he wanted to wrestle before he retired.
Yeah, is there anybody that you'd like to wrestle before you retire?
Ooh.
Can I give you mine?
Yeah, sure.
Dude, I would train until the day of to wrestle Minoru Suzuki before I retire.
Oh, wow.
I
That's a
see
good
that
one.
guy,
That's a
and
good
he's
one.
throwing flying drop kicks at 49 years old. I'm
man.
like, dude, that dude is amazing.
Yeah, to the face.
Yeah,
Hard.
and boom,
Damn.
you know,
Hard.
just to get up that
Yeah,
high, you know.
yeah.
Anybody in particular?
Wow. I've been pretty fortunate. A lot of my contemporaries, I've wrestled a lot of them. It would be cool.
Mascarita Sagrada,
I think
Octagoncito.
I'm pretty sure I wrestled those guys somewhere. It would be cool to wrestle. Maybe, man, I've wrestled so many people. It used to be Rey Mysterio, and I got to wrestle him like last year. So, man, I don't know.
Well, what about-
I have to really think about that.
do you keep up with the indie
deep
scene at all?
question. Yeah, of course.
I would say either Penta Cerro
I've wrestled him.
or
He's great. Phoenix is great.
Yeah, those guys got to be the
guy's
hottest
great.
on the indies right now,
They're
right?
awesome. Yeah, they're so
Yeah,
good.
so you've got to work those guys.
I got to work those guys before. I wrestled Phoenix not that long ago for bar wrestling. We had a hell of a singles match. We opened up the show. It was awesome.
Yeah. Did you wrestle Bobby Fish or any of those guys?
Yep.
Yeah, in
Kyle and
PWG?
Bobby, PWG, New Japan, ROH. Yeah.
Those
All
guys
those
are
guys are great. Adam
finally
Cole.
getting out there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you that my favorite opponents probably of all time are the Young Bucks. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my dudes. Those guys are
You
just
know-
amazing. Kenny Omega's another one is amazing. Okada. I've only wrestled against Okada twice.
Yeah.
So maybe like in a.
I'll
that
give
would
my
be
left
cool.
arm to
Yeah.
wrestle him once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But-
Once was when he was like 16 years old in
Yeah.
like Arena Coliseum in
Oh,
like
dude!
2000.
But paying,
six or
again,
something.
paying his dues. But
Yeah.
it's funny because we used to work for a company called Battleground, and when I was helping train at Del O's, there was a young girl named Ellen that we used to have her wrestle as Ellen Degenerate. So we did a show at
Great name.
Battleground, and it was myself and somebody against her and a kid named Arizona.
Yeah.
But, she was comfortable with me because I trained her. So I picked her at a show. I picked her up, but my friends were in the front, and I threw her into the front row, and her dad came around behind and bam, right in the back of my head. And I threw
love
into her,
it.
and I said, "Was that your dad?" I said, "Well, don't. Doesn't he know it's the worst?" She goes, "I thought he did." So that night,
I love it.
there was a team called the Young Bucks that
Yeah.
worked that show. That's where she met. I don't know if it's Matt or Nick or whatever. Been married ever since.
Oh,
she
really?
met him at that show, and
Oh,
she met him at that show, and
Yeah.
it just blossomed, and now they've been married for I don't.
I think she has 2 kids from
Yeah,
Nick.
we called
Nick's-
her.
that's
we,
Nick's wife,
we
right?
called her to come
I
and
didn't
work.
know that
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
started in the business.
Oh yeah.
Oh
and,
wow.
and let me tell you something. More heart than anybody I've ever trained.
Really?
Oh, that
Oh,
girl
wow.
was
No idea.
full of heart. Would really practice and really try.
Yeah.
And really, I told her, I said, if
She
you
had
stick
passion.
with it, you got something,
Yeah.
Right.
whatever. But since that day, when she met, I think it's
Nick.
Matt.
Nick.
Is it Nick?
Nick, yeah.
When she met him, it was all over, dude. I mean, that girl was in love, and that was it. Or whatever.
I get that way myself.
Yeah. Go
Rocky,
ahead.
can you give a shout out to? It looks like it's Lego TV.
Lego TV, like
Yeah.
L-E.
LEGO?
LEGO, yeah.
Nice.
Lego TV Taylor, what is up?
Lego my egos.
Yeah, maybe we can go to Legoland.
That's right.
Since we're close to San
Or
Diego.
Waffle Land. Lego my ego.
Yeah, check that out.
And then, so Rocky,
Waffle
speaking
I like
of-
some waffles, man.
speaking
We're
of
going to
paying
Roscoe's.
dues, what's your opinion on having the younger gentlemen hold the gate at the New Japan pay-per-views?
Yeah, no,
and
I-
squatting on one knee.
That's great.
and-
The young
Yeah,
young boys.
No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
They have the best seat in the house to learn the most. You know what I mean? They're right up.
like Jay White.
Yeah, they're right up there. They're watching some
And
of
what's
the
the other kid with
greatest
the
of all time.
braids that wrestles? He just what's his the kid with the braids with the long
Oh,
dreadlocks?
Juice Robinson. Yeah.
He was a young boy too,
Yeah,
right?
he came through NXT. He was in NXT. Another guy who didn't get a proper showing
Yeah.
there, and then decided to leave a great paying job in NXT to start over in the New Japan dojo,
Yeah.
and was there for about a year in the dojo, and then they were like, okay, you really don't need to be here.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, you're ready.
So yeah, you've been ready, but
Yeah.
we appreciate what you stepping back and starting over again. And
But see,
he's great. But that's how you do
why
it. Man.
New Japan is what it is. They learn respect for the business and stuff like that.
Right.
Again, I don't want to sound like that old man, but that's what I tell these guys. Dude, you have to respect. You got to respect your elders, and Kiss and Charisma were. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say knuckleheads or crazy, but it didn't matter, man. Whatever you wanted me to do, I would do it. And they gave me, when the guys
they gave you
come, they gave me good
opportunities, right?
matches,
Yeah, right.
against Vampiro and Brazo de Plata and those guys or whatever. So that's all I wanted.
Did you ever wrestle Black Magic?
No, not Black Magic.
Man,
that guy. Want to talk
good.
about another underrated guy?
Yeah.
He's at NXT training people.
Yeah, he's
now too, right?
That's Norman Smiley for folks
Norman
who don't
Smiley.
know.
I've seen him and worked a couple of shows that he was on, but never got to work with him.
Yeah.
Nice guy, very nice.
Very nice guy.
Now, real quick, because we're starting to run up against the clock. You're here. You have Full Contact Fanatics. We got Rocky Romero in studio answering questions, talking about everything. Got Dondo over here to my left.
Dondo, yes sir.
Sneaking in the jiu-jitsu and stuff.
Yeah,
Whenever we get
I'm here with the
chance
legend. We got to talk to the man.
Absolutely. Well, dude, when guys like this come on,
I know better.
Yeah, that's when I have
I'm learning.
to actually stay up on Sunday and I don't want to ask this, dude. Some of the questions I don't even want to tell you. Or like when we have Sarah McMahon was on the show.
Okay.
It's like, dude, I can't ask that. What kind of men does he like? Or we had Rhonda in studio at on the mat in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And some of the questions, I'm like, dude, I can't
some
ask.
knuckleheads
First of
out
all,
there,
she'll
man.
judo toss me into tomorrow. But
Right.
anyways, we got Jessica Nicolette and in the producer's chair. She can field your questions or whatever. Voodoo. Also, we got Bully Zone in the house. Those guys were on time, man. And we talk about hungry. Those guys, they got their show on Sunday, so make sure you tune into them. They're everywhere, dude. We had a live broadcast at NutriShop. They showed up early. It just shows that the passion those guys want to get out there. So
Bully Zone.
Props,
busy man.
Props
They're
to
busy.
the Bully Zone.
And if we can get one more shout out, I think that's Drew Masters at the door. If we can get one more shout out for Adam Woods from Rocky to Adam Woods.
Adam Woods, what's up? Thanks for watching us here and listening to us.
And Adam Woods, that guy's
our
everywhere
friend,
too.
Our friend from Fiji.
He was at Metroflex Gym
running it.
Fights over there the other day too.
Okay.
We gotta go
Running
down to
things
Metroflex
everywhere
and
he goes. He's
do
the
a
man.
live broadcast.
That's cool.
So, anyways, we get moving, and what now was that something New Japan wanted you to get with RK3000, or did you say, you know what? First of all, man, those dudes are the epitome of what I mean. Those dudes are in shape. The gear is tight. One's gold, one's silver,
Right.
or whatever. So what got you involved with them?
So after Roppongi Vice went their separate ways, and Trent moved up, then it was like, what am I going to do now, right? I knew I didn't want to do the same old, be in another tag team and do the same old song and dance. And there's not really like a place for me as a singles wrestler right now, just because we have a lot of young talent that's like really great. Will Ospreay. So I mean, I just kind of be competing against like guys like Will Ospreay,
Right.
which is fine, but just like they're the generation that needs to be there, and maybe I'm the generation that from before that just I don't really need to be in that mix too much, at least not right now, you know. So I don't feel like there was really anything for me. So I was like, well, maybe I can do something else. Like, what can I do? I was like, well, you know what? I watch Gato. Gato's like one of my, my mentors and one of my favorites. So I see what he did with Okada, and how just being on his side and being his mouthpiece, and how Okada, didn't say anything in the beginning, and how now he's grown to what the great that he is, but just kind of help be in that platform to jumpstart a new talent, or a talent that's coming from their excursion, like Sho and Yo did. They spent some time in Ring of Honor
because they were
didn't really
Tempura boys,
yeah,
right?
they didn't do anything, to be honest. They didn't really do much in Ring of Honor, and they were kind of
they wrestled
around.
in CMLL too.
Yeah, they wrestled. They spent some time in CMLL, but they didn't really. It didn't really see like it didn't feel like they had a real direction. And I don't think that they knew what they were doing. They were kind of like trapped, like, we know where we want to go, but we don't know how to get there, But I've already done that so many times and been in so many tag teams and know how it works and how to figure something out and put a package together to present it to an audience. So then I said, I was like, I'm going to get those two guys. I saw them. They did a show for Ring of Honor in New York. And it was like they had all the tools to build the house, but they didn't know how to build it correctly.
Right.
So I was like, so that was like, I was like, I'm going to get those two guys. So it was about time for them to start thinking about coming back to New Japan, so I was able to get my claws in them basically, you know, and
did you have any saying like, hey man, you guys got to switch the gear up and go to this?
I did everything.
Yeah,
I did everything. Because
you know
I
what,
came
dude,
up with the ideas for the
popped,
gear.
man, as soon as I saw
yeah,
it.
you know, I mean, I was listening to a lot of Daft Punk at the time. That was kind of my inspiration for the gold and the silver.
Yeah,
and then I just kind of like. I just took that, and then I just kept, I put a lot of thought into it. I came up with the music, and that helped a lot to kind of steer the direction of what we're going with. And then, they wanted to, New Japan said, well, what kind of video package do you want to do? And I was like, well, let's do something cool. And then they hooked it up with a really great director. We brainstormed. He came up with this great idea to do a music video for the song. And then that was how we introduced him, you know, and that was it was just, the idea of me challenging Taguchi and Ricochet and saying that, I'm challenging you, but it's not. I'm not going to wrestle.
It's not me.
You. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's my. It's these mystery opponents.
Yeah.
So they say yes. We show up to Ryogoku. Nobody knows who is going to show up. And then this video comes on. There's we're in a limousine. I start rapping in the video.
I love it.
Cool and shit.
I gotta check this stuff out. You gotta send it to me.
Cool.
The smoke gun goes off, and then all of a sudden, Sho and Yo come running out of the tunnel, and it takes everybody like a split second to realize who it is, and then the crowd just erupts.
Yeah. Crazy.
And they hadn't seen them in like 2 years. So I mean, it so much nerves up to that point, but then you hear that reaction, and then you're like,
oh, it's there.
It worked. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, man.
They went out and wrestled their hearts out. They won the belts. It was it was a great moment. And then they've just been on a roll, man.
But dude,
they've just been on a roll.
talk about
so
dance
good.
partner going up against the Young Bucks. I mean, that brought it to the forefront, right there.
Right.
I'm telling you, we were watching that match, and I thought somebody's gonna die in this match. It was amazing. But real quick, Austin from Bully Zone. This is a question I have for you if you want to ask Rocky. I know who I would like to see Rocky wrestle in New Japan when able, or if it could come to fruition. What about yourself? Who would you like to see him wrestle in New Japan?
You brought it up when your dream match is Suzuki. I would like to see
against Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah,
would you be down for something
Rocky
like that?
Versus Minoru. I actually wrestled him one time. For some reason, he was in a Super Junior in like 2004 or 5 or something, like when he first came back to wrestling. And I had a singles match with him in the Super Junior. And I've touched him, a couple times in the in random six-mans and stuff like that. But I mean, if I wanted to put my life on the line, I guess I wrestle him. Yeah, but it would be cool. I mean, I enjoy wrestling.
Yeah, we'll take it around the horn. Okay, Jessica, we'll go to Jessica. What do you think?
Who should Rocky wrestle?
Who would you like to see him wrestle in New Japan? It could be heavyweight, light heavyweight. I'll give you mine. Okay. I think him and Marty Scurll would be.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Off the chain.
It
would be
I'm
off the
over for
chain.
Marty Scurll right now because of that whole Backstreet Boys thing that he did in the ring. I really like that. That was cool. That was a cool way to get over with the crowd.
Yeah, and he's different. It's a different type of thing or whatever.
Marty Scurll as well.
Voodoo Master?
Rack the brain, Voodoo Master. Can I tell you mine?
Yeah,
what
go for
Voodoo
it.
Master thinks of his? I would really like to wrestle Hiromu Takahashi.
Oh, dude.
He's a nutcase.
Man, another one I watch him wrestle.
He's really good.
Well, again, paid his dues in Mexico.
And
he lived out there
he's
for a
different.
while,
He thinks differently. I like the way he thinks, and I don't know. He's really interesting. Right now, we're in this Twitter. We got a Twitter beef going on.
Yeah.
That he started, okay, but I ended it, and he even said I ended that. Okay, you won this.
So will it come to fruition? You think?
I mean, I don't know. I murdered him. Murdered him on Twitter,
hey,
dude.
So check out Rocky on Twitter if you want to peep that out.
Yeah, he tried to do like this Roppongi 3K video where he's making fun of us and like a little hand gesture and the whole thing. And then so I wrote a rap. I made fun of all the little videos that he puts up. He puts some strange videos. The guy's a nutcase. And then I wrote a diss rap and just murdered basically the whole junior division.
Yeah.
But him especially. And so we got a Twitter beef, and he just
Crazy.
that was it. He just bowed down. He just bowed down and was like, "Okay, you won." That was it.
Yeah. See,
That's
hey,
all
well, he
today.
threw the white flag. What do you think? Maybe Will Ospreay or you wrestled Will Ospreay before, right?
Yeah, I've wrestled him once.
What about,
but, I mean,
we're watching New Japan. He had a crazy match with Wolf.
Oh, he's so good.
Who he's just talking about?
Oh, Tucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a crazy match.
What about, have you wrestled Zack Sabre Jr.?
No.
You know that
That's
guy?
somebody I would like to wrestle.
Dude, he
So
wrestled.
I would wrestle a different type of match. type of match that people don't think that I
Exactly.
or
See,
at
that
least
would bring out your
a match that I haven't done
your
in
technical-
10
oh,
years,
yeah,
or so,
yeah.
and that would be fun. And like I would do that just to
But
throw
that
people
guy,
way off.
to go to Mexico and wrestle Negro Navarro
Right.
or whatever.
And
that-
Maestro.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, dude, when I saw, I go, that's going to be the drizzling chefs or whatever. But when I watched it,
Yeah.
it was a good match.
Of
You know,
course,
people
yeah,
aren't used
yeah.
to seeing that
Right.
technical hold to
Slow
hold.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
cool.
really good.
It's different.
So if you want to check that out, it's on YouTube.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
What are
you got to check that out. I thought it was pretty cool. Real quick, Jessica, anything else before I go on to my next thing here?
Yeah, Adam Woods wrote in, Rocky, what's the best match you saw before getting into the business that you saw and you were like, I want to wrestle just like
Oh,
that?
I can answer that for him.
wait.
That's
Okay,
easy.
what was
It
it?
had to be King Favi and Pero Russo
That was the
Okay.
one.
versus Kiss
Always a
and Carisma.
plug.
No, I was just gonna say King Favi versus Peruso.
Oh, dude. We almost got into it. He hit me with that bone before. And, dude, he split me open. And I'm like, what are you...
Whoa.
Yeah, he did. But he was...
Dude,
Watch out for
he was
that.
garrote
Watch out for
like
that bone.
dude. So
He was,
I had to give it a second thought. But anybody, when you were watching, said, dude, that's what I want to get into the business.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? So much Eddie Guerrero stuff and Mysterio and Jericho at that. I mean, all that kind of cruiserweight generation stuff. Just like, I don't know, it just made a huge impact on me as a young man.
Yeah.
You know, one match that really stands out, obviously, is that
The one they did
Hollywood Havoc versus Ray versus Eddie.
Oh, when he had the purple gear
Yeah,
on.
he
Yeah.
does the crazy moonsault
Dude,
into the DDT.
Mine for me
That
was when
insane.
they came to LA and it was him and Art Barr against El Hijo del Santo.
That's a
And,
hell of a
I have
match.
never seen heat
Yeah.
like that before. I
Heat-
mean, it was amazing.
But like, oh my god, like that's like the epitome of like a match with so much psychology.
Yeah.
But it's like
Which
but
these-
it's- but
which
it's
these
lucha.
youngins don't
But
get
it's-
anymore.
But it's lucha, which you
Yeah.
don't always see. It's rare to see a match.
Yeah.
There's only so many guys that really do it well, you know, in the lucha world.
Right.
That with psychology, and those guys. Oh my god, what a match that is!
Yeah.
I'd like
to
to
this
watch that
day,
match and see
people,
it.
still.
It's gotta. I
still
bet you
trip
it
out
still
on that.
holds up. I bet you it still does.
Go ahead.
Rocky, what's your opinion on all these dudes in WWE coming up on steroid bust?
Who got busted?
Roman Reigns got busted like
got busted?
Yeah, they have that
3 times
wellness,
back-to-back
that
in 1
wellness
year,
policy or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to try to keep it clean, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, the thing is, I get it in the fact that like those guys are under a tremendous amount of stress. Their schedule is insane, and maybe sometimes taking a couple shortcuts here and there to keep up with everything, and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, but they do work in a PG world,
Yeah.
right? So they are setting an example for kids. I mean, and I don't work in that world, so I wouldn't worry about it, so
Yeah.
much. And not saying that, whatever, but just you do have to set a certain you set a certain example,
Because
and you
so
have to
many
like
people watching them,
yeah,
man. You know?
dude. And then
And
like
those kids- that's why
everybody
they won't
knows
turn-
about it. That's the thing is like you get busted, everybody knows about it.
That's why they
It's
won't
like,
turn Cena heel because he's
it's
got so many
hard.
kids. Well,
It's
what
hard
about
nowadays,
I got to tell you, man. I don't watch WWE as much, but I do watch NXT, and I got to tell you, man. And I tell Voodoo this a lot. Those two European kids, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Man, those guys.
Those
can
guys are
go,
great.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, well, give me your opinion on this. Those guys are good, very well, but it seems like they get to NXT or something, and they kind of start to spin their wheels a little bit. You know what I mean? Is there some, like 205 too? They brought Gran Metalik, who was I was gonna say Acero Dorado, back in
Links
CML.
Dorado.
Yeah.
Links, wasn't that?
no,
it was-
Máscara Dorada.
Yeah, Mascara Dorado. Those guys are good, but they get there and they kind of spin their wheels a little bit. Do you think? This is my opinion.
Yeah.
They need to get a lucha guy in there who knows what they're talking about to put those guys together. I don't think that they kind of know exactly how to put those guys together. Because they put that kid Tyler Bate against Adam Cole, and the same thing I thought, dude, and it was one heck of a match.
I think okay, so I think that obviously some things, this is the thing why I think New Japan is so popular right now, because New Japan is giving the fans what they want, and I think what that they deserve, right? So like WWE has collected some of the greatest talent of all
Yeah.
time, and they're all under this one banner, right? But on the main program, it's not exactly what everybody wants to see, right?
Right.
But they do have it under their banner, right? In NXT and all this stuff, right? But the thing is like you want to see that, and you're like, oh, these guys are just spinning their wheels. But I don't understand why they're letting that happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're leaving. To me, they're just leaving tons of money on the table. So much money that's just
How many
being
times
left
have we
on the
talked
table.
about that? I'm like, that dude can draw money
It's
right
like,
there.
oh, dude, they have so many guys that can draw money. They have so many guys that could be superstars for them. They're always saying like, oh, you got to be a superstar, but do they? I'm wondering, do they really want superstars, or do they just say they want superstars because
Yeah.
that's what they're supposed to say? Because because they have all these guys that are money who could make millions of dollars, generate millions and millions of dollars, but they just let them sit there and they let them spin their wheels. Why are those guys wrestling for the UK title? Those guys should be wrestling. I want to see Pete Dunne versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Book that. I'd rather. That's way more interesting.
That's way different than seeing the
WrestleMania
same thing,
than
yeah.
Dude, we've seen the same thing for the last I don't know how many WrestleManias.
Yeah.
You know, and then so okay, we want to counter Okada versus Omega. That's
Right.
so what we're gonna do is
Yeah.
we're gonna do AJ versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, that happened.
Oh wait, that was like 2 years ago, and there's no
Sandra,
way
where you
can
going?
Tell me, there's no way you can tell me that WrestleMania Nakamura versus AJ is going to be better than Wrestle Kingdom 2 years ago without anybody saying you can do this, you can't
Right.
do that, you can't. There's just no, it's impossible, and they're going to have a hell of a match, and it's going to be awesome, but. There's too many restrictions because
Yeah.
you're not able. You don't have the creative
Yeah,
freedom
got a little bit
that
of a
you
leash
do.
on there,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't have the creative freedom to truly do what you do best.
Right.
And those guys just need to be let go. They need to have trust. Have trust in your
Yeah.
wrestlers. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
this
you
is-
can't
this
let
is-
the
this
inmates
is
run the
awesome.
asylum, but they do know
Right.
what works.
But you need to let them push the limit. Otherwise, if you're not pushing the limit, then what kind of product do you really have? It's just
Right.
it's just.
Sandra, you want to have a question for Rocky Romero?
What's your question, sir? Sarah said.
We got a fan club out there.
What about Drew Masters? Where's he at? I know that you got a question for Rocky real quick because we're running up against the clock.
I did. I actually posted on the Twitch. Or
Oh, what was it?
I wanted
I
to
don't
know.
have it. Sorry.
Random question.
Yep.
What was the last thing you did for the first time?
What's that? You just asked me what was
the last thing you did for the
thing-
first time, like eat off the taco truck, or
The the last thing I did for the first time.
Did you
Man.
try a new move in the ring, or did you? Right?
I don't know.
dude, they're coming up here with these stunners, man? What's wrong with you?
Dude, my mind is like,
Well, real
answer
quick-
a question like that, probably. That was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
that's a good one.
Real
That's a
quick,
good.
because we're running up against the clock now.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to get in before we let you go. We're talking before put that picture of Rocky and I when you give it a chance. We went to
It's a
go
good
check
one.
out check you out at Santino Brothers.
Right.
And we were talking before we went on the air. I didn't really see much in Tyler Bateman, but honestly, I hadn't seen him work that much or whatever. But then when he worked against you at Santino Brothers, dude, that match was spot on. And I was telling Voodoo and I was telling Jessica that's what happens when you have a good dance partner. When you got a good dance partner, that brings you to another level, and that brings it up. Now, real quick, tell us about that match. With Tyler. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was.
And I hadn't
yeah.
seen it in him until he wrestled
Right.
you.
I kind of, I've seen him around the scene for years now.
Yeah.
And I always thought that he was really good.
Yeah.
I thought there was something special about it. I think, but like, I've never wrestled with them,
Yeah.
so you can't really know until you actually wrestle a guy,
Right.
right? Like how they really are, But he's a quiet guy. He's reserved. His style is very conservative compared to others. So like, but I was curious. I was like, there's something about this guy. So
Yeah.
then when Joey came to me, Chaos, and said, hey, would you mind wrestling Tyler? And I was like, yeah, that'd be super cool, because I could see something in it.
He
But
got a little upset at me. He's like, dude, and I'm like, I'm not saying
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not. I just didn't see it. But when they wrestled, it was like,
yeah,
dude,
right?
It
because
really brought it out.
I think it's just like he's not over the top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that we're so used to wrestlers being over the top and these huge personalities and kind of being like the loudest guy in the room.
Right.
That's the guy who grabs your attention
Right.
because we live in a world where we're just like on our phones the whole time.
Exactly.
So like you need to be louder as we think is better, but here's a guy who's quiet and more reserved. But there's something when you look into his eye,
Yeah.
there's something there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I could see that right off the bat.
And is there anything particular that you, because like when I went to Santino's, I went there a few times to check out some of the practices and stuff like that. And when I saw Brody King, just looking, I said, man, that guy, you see him, there's just something about that dude
Right.
that looks like a wrestler. And if you see him on the street, you go, hey man, what do you do? Oh, I'm a wrestler. Oh, that's what I thought, or whatever. When
But
you see him,
he's in a hardcore, like a
Punk band or
hardcore
something,
punk
yeah.
band. Like they tour the world
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
he-
like that. Like
you know,
he's a
and-
badass
yeah,
dude.
and I wasn't the only one.
He's a tough,
when
tough
we had Joseph,
SOB.
yeah,
He's a
he
punk
said,
rocker, but yet he's also one of the boys to close the gate at New Japan.
Yeah,
exactly.
right,
oh
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
he was there
Yeah.
One of the
at the
boys.
thing.
Right,
Did he
yeah.
approach you or?
Well, see, Brody trained me for a bit.
Oh,
when,
okay.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
a-
no wonder then.
Yeah, no, there was a time where I was helping to run the Hollywood School, the
Yeah.
Championship Wrestling for
Yeah.
Hollywood School when it was still in the Valley, and Brody was one of the first guys to sign up and come train. I met him through. I did a couple of things at Santino's,
Yeah.
where I taught and did a couple classes over there. And then I said, I'm going to do this thing. So if you guys want to come over, and he was like the first one, one of the first ones. Him, Hobo, Brandon
Yeah.
Taylor. And a couple of the feline guys who and those guys.
Yeah, we saw my. That's one of the felines.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
That's cool. Well,
So I mean, he's
well-
been training with me for a little bit.
I mean, has anybody ever caught your eye like that? Or did you say that dude looks like
Yeah,
something?
Brody for sure.
Yeah.
I thought in Will Ospreay when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
first met him about not even that long, maybe 6 months before Okada met him
Yeah.
and then brought him to New Japan. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely been there's a couple of guys that I think around here. Tyler Bateman, I think, is one of
Yeah.
them. I could say around here, Andy Brown, I think is
Yeah.
an interesting guy.
From EWF.
I think that he there's something about him like just nobody knows about him, so he's just got to get the hell out of EWF. You can't stay a secret down there. I mean, trust me, I came from EWF.
Yeah.
I understand. They give you such a good base, but if you stay within the system, you'll never
Right,
get out of the system. So you have to
Dude,
take a chance.
What?
So when it's
Tell
time,
what
when
do I
it's time.
tell you? What do I tell you? I
You know?
tell that to him all the time. I go, you gotta branch out. You can't
Right.
just keep wrestling the same
Oh,
people.
man, you
and
know,
stuff
you
like
did that.
You
You know,
gotta keep
no,
going.
Right. And like there's I know a lot of promoters will tell you because they want you to be on the show. They want you to be their main things. But like more experience at this level,
Yeah,
there's
the
no
more
money
people
in
you
the level when you start, right?
Right.
So the only way to get out of that is to wrestle everywhere, anywhere, no matter what. Don't expect to make money. It has nothing to do with that. You're gonna lose money. Who cares?
Right.
But this is how you got to make connections
Yeah, you
with
get that
people.
experience.
You go over. I don't know how many times I went to a show in Arizona. I had no idea who the promoter was, but somebody was like, "Hey, can you come fill in for this guy?" We're like, "Yeah, okay." So we just drive down there, lose
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
spending $100
On
on
gas and all
gas
that,
and
yeah.
everything, food. Then coming back, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna pay you $50," and then like they'd
You
be
get
like,
there.
"You get there like, oh, the house wasn't so good, like you said," and they give you
maybe
like
10.
$20, yeah, or 10 or something, and then you come back, with less money, but. That always led to somebody else saw you and said, "Oh, you know what? Hey, can you guys drive to Vegas in like 2 weeks? We're doing this show. It's a sold show, so I can guarantee you the money. We'll even send it to you up front. Boom, cool.
Yeah.
Then you just made up for that one, And like,
Exactly.
But that's how you
Gotta
meet
hustle.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just
Well,
got to
what you
get
put
out
into it
there,
is what you're gonna get out of it. You know?
No, that's life, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let me get that
Exactly.
other Gatorade.
How do you
Is that
consider
still there?
yourself as a trainer, Rocky? Do you say like, oh, you're hard on your students, or you'll push them, or?
I wouldn't make my students do anything that I wouldn't do or haven't already done.
Thank you,
Okay.
I
Billy
think
Zone.
that's I don't believe in anything, any philosophy that I haven't actually lived or done or been a part of.
Okay.
So, at this point, I've been through so much. You know what I'm saying? So like I think it's important for them to go through, to not be afraid to go through it, and the most important thing is just not be afraid to take risks. If you want to be complacent in life, you can't expect for opportunities to come to you.
Right.
You can't just sit there and say, "Oh, well, I'm going to put my match out on the YouTube."
And somebody will see
And
it.
You know,
Yeah.
somebody from the New Japan office is going to see it. Ain't going to happen, buddy. It's not
And
a
I know
thing.
your seminar, it's sold out, so obviously you're doing
Right.
something right. Yeah.
I'm just like everybody else. Like you said, hustling. I'm trying. It's not only about just being a wrestler anymore in this day and age either. Like you learn some other skills.
Yeah.
You want to learn. How many guys have their own music? You go to a show and it's like you're just branded by somebody else's music. You're coming out to Uptown Funk or something.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, go to a show, get your own music, pay a band $50. Use $50 of your own money. You got a buddy who's in a band, dude. Make me some cool music.
Right.
Let's do it. Then we'll go and then you sell it. That's your merch. Go sell that. Hey, dude, your music is cool. I mean, go to a show, and then you sell 50 CDs. You've made more than what you spent
Yeah,
on
but
it.
like you gotta
It's
hustle.
a business.
What you put into it is what you're gonna get out of it.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, I got to tell you, man, since the days of coming to watch the ECW pay-per-views at the house, man, and
Smelling your gas.
Yo, dude, and my wife, man, she came in and goes, "You don't do that to those guys, man. They're never gonna come back." And
that's why I do it to you.
Yeah, they
Just so
never
you
did.
know.
Well, that's because they moved up or whatever. But,
No.
I blow Favi up
But let me
often.
tell you something. The next time they came back, like 5 In-N-Out burgers and shakes and everything, dude.
Good guys.
They brought the whole
Homies.
kit.
I think that's
Kid
true.
and caboodle. But I've had Ricky on the show too, and
cool.
he's talking about opportunities. That dude moved from here to Philly,
Right.
not knowing anybody, just so he can start working Ring of Honor
Right.
and stuff like that. So that's the epitome of like taking that chance. But he stayed out there. He ended up getting married and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He made a life out there. But I tell guys now, like, if you don't do it, somebody else is.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna lose your
gonna
opportunity.
take that spot.
If there's two of these guys, you look just like this guy. You guys are about the same height, same weight, same build, same skill set. But this guy's willing to move or do whatever, or this guy knows how to edit videos. Let's just say because he has an extra skill, that's something that he's in. That guy's gonna get a job over you, or gonna get opportunities over you.
Yeah.
Don't let somebody do that.
That's right.
Cut them off. Do your own thing, but find your way.
It's funny because we put Joe Schmo and I did a show where the Kings practice out there in where they practice in right off the 405 in El Segundo.
Okay.
And him and I were doing a show, and I wanted to put Ricky on there, and so we put him on there. Then all of a sudden, Joe Schmo puts Christopher Daniels, and then he put I can't remember. I mean, he put all these people on. We ended up losing $11,000 on that show.
Jesus.
11 grand. Chris Daniels was on there. Frankie
Right.
was on there. He just starts me. I go, dude, we can't pay this. No, I got it. And we ended up shelling out 11 grand after everything was paid for and all that. It was amazing. Ricky got paid. I was like the first. Make sure you get Ricky paid because he's like the first one I put on here. But real quick before we get out of here, I'm gonna tell you my wrestler who I feel has paid more dues than anybody and really is deserving what he gets, and that's Christopher Daniels. Because when we were working in East LA at the All Nation Center for Antonio, that dude, talk about taking chances. He would come to work the lucha shows. The only one who didn't speak Spanish came from Chicago.
Yep.
And would ask Antonio, hey man, can I work or whatever? And he would ask me, do you know this guy? I said, dude, I don't even know him. Right. But James Macia's dad told Antonio, that kid can work. Put him on there. And he started working the lucha shows.
Probably the best one on the shows, right?
And when I saw him, I went, where did this guy come from?
Right.
He was really good or whatever. And he even trained a couple of times, was a trainer at UPW or whatever. So that, to me, is the epitome of paying your dues. That dude came from Chicago, was working Antonio shows in East LA. He worked for Martin at WPW and just kept going.
That was a guy that I owe a lot to. Me and Ray as both. Like when we first started at the School Hard Knocks, shout out to Jesse Hernandez. He was one of the first guys that just took wrestling to a whole nother level for us. Yeah. Because he was coming in, the way he trained was way harder than what we were used to with Jesse.
And he was. That's when Superboy took him out and made him Curryman, or they made him Curryman out in Michinoku.
Right, yeah, he was going to Japan. It was crazy, yeah.
At Joe's wedding, when I got there, because we got a room at the same hotel, so I go down to go see where the ceremony is going to be at. So it's Chris Daniels, Petey Williams from TNA, RVD, and somebody else in the pool. I can't remember, Christian or whatever.
Right,
they're all in the pool, right? And they're all in shape, dude. Petey Williams was all buffed out.
I think I was there too. I feel like I remember the day after the wedding or something.
This was the day of.
Okay.
You were there, but you weren't at the pool at that time.
Okay.
So Chris Daniels says, hey, he goes, Fabiano, what's up, man? He goes, get your trunks, dude, get in. I'm all fat and stuff. I turn around, and my wife goes, you going in the pool? I say, hell no. You guys all looking all in shape and everything. You crazy? Come out there all fat. But
let's do a cannonball.
Yeah, I was like, forget that noise, man. So
the great Hambino.
Yeah, that was just. For some reason, that stuck out in my mind because
awesome.
I remember looking at Chris Daniels and my mom going, shit, I'm going in this pool. Man, you must be out your mind. But
just do it.
anyways, for the people listening to us here on Full Contact Fanatics, I got to tell you, man, just to get Rocky in here for a little while, you know, because you're so, you know, you're in Japan for so long, you know, and all that.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Every time I call him, he's like, dude, I'm going to be in town for a week, but then I'm going out here, and, you know, and all that. So just to get you
I
here
was
for a
like, the
little
week
while.
of the show, I know I'll be in town. So
Perfect.
like
So
that,
let me just tell everybody real quick, you know, even though it's sold out, you can still check it out on Access TV.
Right.
It's Strong Style Evolved. It's Sunday, March 25th at the Pyramid in Long Beach. You got Omega and Ibushi against the Young Bucks, Jay White against Hangman Page.
It's awesome.
And, of course, Jushin Liger against Rey Mysterio. Weren't you doing a show up north not too long ago with those guys?
I was up there for PWR, Pro
Yeah.
Wrestling Revolution, and I wrestled Liger, in a tag match.
Dude,
Yeah,
how was that?
Well, I mean, I wrestled him so many times.
Is it
now.
really?
Yeah, the first time it was a crazy
He's gotta
big
be
deal.
close to my age,
Yeah,
right?
he's like 50 something, yeah.
Damn,
But he
man,
can go,
still
dude. He's
go.
timeless.
Is
He's
there
timeless.
something in that Japanese water? Like, you know.
You know what it is, dude? That he works out hard still,
Yeah.
like really hard still. He's really good on it, with his diet and everything. He
Yeah.
takes really good care of himself. Yeah.
And teamed with everybody, Wagner and all those dudes and all
he's a
that, man.
dude. He can still go.
And now he's going to wrestle Rey Mysterio over
Right.
there, which is probably, and of course you're going to be there with RK 3000.
Roppongi 3000. We will be in the house, as
That
well.
is-
Yeah.
That is awesome. Anybody you want to thank or give some of your shout outs to your sponsors or whatever out there?
Just my sponsor is myself, Rocky Romero merch.com.
Buy his merch.
Yeah,
Chico
definitely go down there.
Luchador.
Yeah. Check out Chico Luchador. He's on YouTube, ChicoLuchador.com. It's also up on Facebook, Twitter, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So check that out because I dumped my whole life savings in there.
And get your buns out there. When the guys come from Japan, they come a little bit early, right, to get acclimated to the time and stuff like that.
Not really
The
as
day
much.
before?
Yeah. No,
Dude.
like 2 days before. So
I was gonna say, because
not
it's what,
really,
11,
yeah.
12 hours on the plane?
Yeah, something
It's
like
rough.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
So
So
just-
Jet lag.
I mean, but they don't care about us when we go over there. I
Oh,
mean, we
is
get
that
in
right?
I mean, we come in the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually.
And do they ever want to? Well, I know they go to In-N-Out Burger, but do they want to
Love
come and
In-N-Out.
work out and stuff, or they just, hey, I'm at the hotel, let's do the
I
show?
mean,
get out of here?
they might just do like a hotel workout
Yeah.
or maybe find a local gym.
Prison
They
workout.
want to take it
Yeah.
kind of easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
they might go shopping.
So
and
that's,
stuff,
I was gonna say,
you
that
know.
doesn't really give them time to enjoy any of the sights or anything like that,
It's
or they
just
care
the
less.
way-
They go to
well,
In-N-Out, eat.
No, I mean that's just how
Yeah.
it is, man.
Yeah.
You just go from place to place. There's not really much time. You try to fit in something if you
Yeah.
have the time. If you do have a day, you got to go try to make it worth your while and go see something cool. But
Yeah.
maybe I might try to take. I think Okada's doing some press where he's going around with Access, so he might see some stuff. But
Well,
I don't know
what
about the other guys.
You
Yeah.
think anyone might stop by the dojo to check it out, or
The new dojo?
Dude, we're in
Yeah.
Japan. What do we need to go
Yeah.
to the dojo for?
yeah. Can't imagine. Well, we're actually having a dojo event on the 24th. Tickets were up. I think they might be sold out already, though. But it was like 100 tickets or something. I think they opened
Yeah.
up. But there's an event there. There's going to be a couple matches. I heard.
And so is Shibata going to be the trainer there? or
Shibata
whatever?
is the head coach. So anybody who's interested, check out the New Japan English website, which
Right.
is njpw1972.com. Check out that for more information. I'm sure they'll have another camp coming up pretty
Right.
soon. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Hey, can't get any better training than that. But I got to tell you, man, just to get Rocky in here for a little while and talk about old times and stuff like that, it's amazing. Like I keep saying, I hate to sound like that old man, but Rocky, with him and Ricky were just pups.
Yeah.
Coming to the pay-per-view.
I think probably when we met, I was like 18 or something.
Yeah, and
It's
getting
wild,
into
yeah.
it, and talk about paying dues. Sitting behind Samoa Joe and Michael Parks and all that. Those dudes, there's nobody paid more dues than them or
And
whatever.
we're
Pretty
still
cool.
there, so you're welcome to
You
come
were
down
still-
anytime and come visit. Yeah.
But hey, we've upgraded from that 19-inch black and white
Yeah, yeah.
to a bigger TV.
Oh!
And it's not the same. We're in the living room
I'll
now.
see you at the
and
next
there's room.
pay-per-view.
You know what I mean? It's like not the same. We had so much fun.
Yeah,
we were just
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for the floor to collapse
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And the
We had a
ECW
great time, dude. I never
Yeah.
laughed harder in my life at those that we had such good times.
And it's
yeah.
kind of like that. I tell Voodoo that too. Sometimes the matches for me were secondary. I just had so much fun kicking back and talking with my boys in the back.
Half the
and-
time we didn't even watch because we were just
just
cracking
having
jokes
fun,
and making
man.
fun of each
That's
other.
how it
and
was
that's
back
how
in the
it was.
day,
Yeah, that's
but-
good times.
Absolutely. So don't forget, check out Strong Style Evolve. Make sure you follow Rocky on all his social media, man. He keeps everybody up to date on there. He is the Twitter champion since he was it Kabatachi or
Yeah, Hiromu Takahashi.
Takahashi.
Just dropped a bomb on the poor kid fella.
Yeah, so make sure you follow him. He keeps everybody up to date on there. A million thank yous for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
For the people listeners, don't forget, check us out here every Monday. We're here from 8 to about 9:15, 9:30. Make sure you check us out. Tomorrow is a wrestling show. It's called...
The The Royal Ramble.
The Royal Ramble. Make sure you check that out tomorrow. They're going to be plugging their show that they're going to have at OCCW.
Yep.
Got Voodoo Masters going to be wrestling 10 Bears. They got a Bushido tournament and stuff like that. Don't forget, on Wednesday, you can check out
Gym
Gym
Crashers.
Crashers. Who you guys got on this Wednesday?
Got Terry on Ware, just fought UFC in London.
Yeah, Terry on Ware, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
They, talk about throwing him into the deep end. They threw that dude against
Oh, yeah.
that Sean O'Malley guy.
And they
or
robbed
whatever.
him too, so yeah,
And
absolutely.
he did well. He
Yeah,
did
Man,
well.
you know who
really
I
good.
would really like to meet is Renato, man.
Renato
Larange.
No,
Yeah,
Larange,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
That guy,
I'm down too.
that guy is
Let's get
a
him in here.
world champion.
We'll get him in here. We'll get you in here. It'd be hilarious.
I would love to see Chico and him meet. Just
Yeah.
two world champions sit down and have a conversation. You know,
I'm telling
one
you.
for the professional wrestling world, one from
Yeah.
the jiu-jitsu world.
When
you
they
know?
had the jiu-jitsu expo at the Long Beach Convention
Mm-hmm.
Center for On the Mat, we went to go cover it, and Renato Laranja was signing in there.
Yeah.
So they've heard the story 1,000 times. We were
It's a
doing
good
live
story.
broadcasts
Right.
right there. So Nate Diaz was going to come and sign for supposed to sign for 2 hours for
Right.
On the Mat. He's a sponsor. Have you ever seen the Lucky Gi,
Yep.
the Diaz brothers or whatever? Most popular gi we sell.
Love it.
400
I used to own one.
bucks. So he had one for a little while. So Nick
Used to.
Nick didn't show up. Nick
My
didn't.
my instructor stole it.
Yeah, he said, "Yeah, well, he made the mistake."
And I'd
of
already
leaving here."
no. It was supposed to be a commercial I
Yeah.
was shooting,
When he saw it,
wearing
he's like,
it.
"Yeah,
So
this
I
fits perfect."
and I happened to train people there.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'm like, dude, that's a $420 gi. I got that for the commercial. Oh no, this fits perfect.
See ya.
So Nick didn't show up.
Right.
So Nate went to the Metal Militia and signed for 2 hours.
Okay.
So when he got over to
So
On the
proud of
Mat,
it.
Scotty comes up to the owner and he says, "Hey man,
I know
got
Scotty,
you-
yeah.
Yeah, Scotty
Yeah,
from
yeah. He's a
Scott
good dude.
Nelson.
Yeah.
So that's my boss from On the Mat.
Okay.
So Nate says, "Hey man, I've been signing for 2 hours. Can I just take a little break? I'm gonna go whatever." He says, "Yeah, go ahead." So we get all this stuff together. So Laranca's signing in there. Nate comes up. There's a curtain like this between us. And you know when you could really hear somebody fighting and you know it's not a play fight? And I stand and I go, dude, that's a real fight. There's somebody, Nate's dropping the N-bomb and all this stuff. I come around the corner and Nate's like that, mother ever. Boom, they go at it. They start, so I grab him.
Renato?
He
And
went
him?
after, yeah.
for reals. I had no idea.
Dude, I grabbed Nate, and I'm just holding him because I don't want to start swinging on me. And I'm like, Nate, be cool, man. And he's by himself. Nobody with him. No Nick, none of his friends.
That's how
no-
Miguel rolls too.
Right.
So I pull him back, and Scotty goes, man, he goes, what's wrong? He goes, go over there, go stand over there right now. And Nate's going, 205, mother effer, and this and that. And I'm like, dude, be cool, whatever. So I let him go, and Scotty goes over and he goes, man, what's your problem? He goes, still go over there, stay over there, or whatever. So I walk
He's talking
over.
to Nate?
He's talking to Nate.
Okay.
So I walk, Nate signed like 11 photos, and he had a line that was all the way out the door. So I walk over, and Laranja comes completely out of character and goes, what the hell's wrong with this guy, man? I'm trying to, and all of a sudden he starts swinging on me. So Nate just goes, that's it, and he starts to walk off. And I go, oh, dude. But he starts walking right towards where, and he goes after him again.
Oh, wow.
So I had to grab him again. So Scotty goes, that's it, get out, just go, or whatever. So the bottom line is, man, he left a whole line of people waiting.
Wow.
But the other part is, not to Laranja went all out of character. This guy.
What did he
what
did he
triggered
go up
it?
to him and started like
I just heard the
saying
fighting.
some stuff?
I don't
or,
know. I
like,
just heard
Renato?
the back and
Did
forth.
was he playing with him?
I think somebody
He
wanted
must have
to
been
take a
toying with
picture,
him.
and Renato went like this or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and he didn't like it or whatever.
Isn't there like a video somewhere where like
can go to
he,
YouTube.
he
You
goes
go to
off, he was
YouTube and
going
check it
off
out.
on him and he like was trying to fight him or something? Is
the,
that the
actual
type?
fight on the mat at the Jiu-Jitsu Expo is on YouTube.
Oh, okay, maybe I haven't
No
already
doubt.
seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Dude, I went into a deep Renato Laranja.
You watch him on YouTube?
Binge.
YouTube, yeah,
Yeah.
binge. On the last trip to Japan, where like
It's hilarious.
Dude,
I've never laughed.
And you can't even
so
get that
he
dude
has like a
anymore.
show.
He's
I
got so
I
much
started
going
listening
on.
to the Valley Chudo hour.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, it's so good.
Hey,
man.
Renato Laranja, hey, I saved you that one time. Get over here so we can get Rocky
I'm a fan,
on the
dude.
thing or
I'm a
whatever.
fan, yeah.
Absolutely.
For real.
He is funny. And everything is with the age. We do that on the regular.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We got to check it out. So, got to get out of here because we're running up against the clock. Again, a million thank yous. But you,
Yes.
you
I
are,
can do this all night.
You are
It was
incredible.
Dude, we can
I'm
go
ready to
4
go,
hours.
man. I'm ready to
easy.
go.
No problem. So, don't forget, check out Rocky and all the social media. Don't forget Bully Zone on Sundays. Make sure you check them out. They got a show coming up. Who you guys? Any guests or what are you guys going to talk about?
We're gonna cover some shows that we could attend on Saturday. We got,
You guys ever? You've been to PWG before, right?
We haven't.
You guys going to Strong Style Evolved?
We might make our way up there.
Yeah.
You guys, You guys got tickets or what?
I think him and Sandra were at the front row at the last one too.
Do you guys get some tickets or what?
We're working on getting sponsorships. You know,
All right. Well, you can talk to Rocky Romero. He might be able to throw you a couple tickets.
And Bully Zone.
Good man. That's a good
forget,
man.
Don't forget Fabiano. All right. So, hey, again, a million thank yous for everybody tuning in. Make sure you check out Strong Style Evolve. Make sure you check out New Japan on Access TV. The shows are awesome. If you can't make it to the show, you can check it out on Access TV. I'll give you a little preview of Josh Barnett. That Rocky Romero is awesome, dude. That dude's paid his dues. So make sure you check it out. Again, a million thank yous for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see everybody here next Monday. Make sure you check us out. See everybody then.
See ya.
Robert, a million thank yous, man. Without Robert, this wouldn't be possible.
That's right.
Thank you, Robert.
See everybody here next Monday.